Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing amazing. So today I am here with some interview questions of Samsung with advanced developer roles that was asked in IITKGP campus placements. I will also try to make some podcasts with some fellow batchmates who got placed or interned in good companies during our placement season this time. So let's start. Uh, Yeah, round one, definitely the first question would be to introduce ourselves, and the important thing which I would suggest is to uh, go through your resume and be well prepared with any type of questions. So I was asked about my quantum machine learning questions from my intern work, which I did at MyTax. So I was asked in detail of how quantum circuits work, what is the difference between normal machine learning and quantum machine learning. I was not hoping that he would also have some knowledge about this, but he asked in quite a detail about this. So uh, yeah, and then he went straight to the he also asked me what are your interest areas. Like I explained, I told I do DSA, but I my main focus area is on machine learning and computer vision. So just explain the CNN model who was the second next question. So yeah, you can just go through it. I had like during my preparation, I had just taken care of the entire architecture and tried to explain everything with some image detection or handwritten digit recognition example. I took some examples and explained the complete step-by-step methods. Then he gave me some numerical problem on pooling and convolution layer, and the problems were quite simple. Like if you moving some kernel 3 cross 3 kernel, let's say on some grid which is some x cross y, what will be the output of the dimension of the output. So such kind of questions were asked, a numerical on convolution and pooling. And like he was going on asking some question or the other. Finally, as I was able to answer quite a few of them, he also asked me how neural networks actually function with is fully connected layer in CNN with backpropagation. So I clearly explained the activation function, the exact backpropagation method, how it works with those partial derivatives, and along with the gradient descent formula. So I just explained it. Then he went on to ask about some questions like on object detection algorithms like YOLO, and I also talk about some face detection algorithm like SIFT algorithm and all. And then he came up with a question which was quite unexpected because it's not quite from the computer science domain, it was more of our core domain. So he asked that if you have a mixture of noises with various frequencies coming as input, how will you find the fundamental components? So this we had done in our lab. So I told that I will take the signal, perform the fast Fourier transform, and plot it in a graph, and take the first highest peak as the fundamental frequency. So that's how it's done generally, fast Fourier transform. So I was surprised with this question, but I was able to answer luckily. I wasn't prepared on this domain kind of thing, on noises or frequencies or something like that. Now, I was also asked some situation based questions like you are given the image of a person with white background, how will you detect the person without using any ML model? So I talked about edge detection there. If the background is white, edge detection is going to be quite easy. I talked about canny edge detection, how those work, and then he went on to ask me how exactly does a basic edge detection works. So I talk about some a minus 1,8 kernel which looks something like this. So I said that if I move this kernel throughout the image and take an average. So if you see, if you move this kernel over a white image, or you an image which is having only a single color, you will get 0, because each pixel will have same value. Let's say 60 value is there for each pixel, and if you multiply 60 into minus 1, which is 8 times, and also the 8, which will give you 0. But in case of an edge, there will be a discontinuity in the image, and this will lead to a non-zero curve. Very large value of non-zero represents a more possibility of an edge. So that's how I explain this simple edge detection mechanism. You can go ahead and check this in the OpenCV documentation. It is there explained in really detail, and also on some courses uh, on the internet. Many computer vision courses, basic computer vision courses and neural networks do teach this method of edge detection. So then he went on to ask about some computer vision projects which I have done. So he asked on Mm, I answered on a lane detection, for example. So if a car is there, you have a camera feed at the front of the car. How will you detect a lane, the lane in which the car is moving on for autonomous driving purposes? So yeah, I explained some of my projects which I have put in my resume. The round two was a technical round again. So this was more on explanation based than exact questions based. So he asked me about my most recent project which I have done. So I asked him like, can I tell you about the project which I have done recently, but not it's not in my resume. So he asked me, he told me that's definitely you are allowed. So so just the day before my interview, just 1 or 2 days before my interview, I did the BTP presentation under one of our professors at IITKGP. So I explained that project to him in detail. So that was my lucky portion. I was able to pass a good 30 minutes. He asked me varieties of questions on that. My area was graph neural networks. And how do you like uh, like if you have a Stack Overflow data set, so if you have a Stack Overflow website, um, how will you suggest when a user is posting some questions, how will you suggest the algorithm to give to the user who is having experience about that particular question? So it requires some NLP about the questions which I asked, and also about the reputation or badge. So those features we are going to use and do some suggestion work. So that I handled using graph neural network in my BTB project, and that I explained to the interview guy, and he seemed to be quite satisfied with this. Then he went on to ask a DSA question. So this interview was like on December 1st. So I don't exactly remember what the question was, but I do remember that I was not able to solve it directly, but solved it with some hint. And the DSA question was something where we need to find the number of distinct three-letter contiguous strings from a given very long string in long string, in the sense preferably in the O of n time you need to do. So I did it using some hash map, as he gave some hint. I keep a 3 window thing, and the 3 length window would traverse through the string and store everything in the map, and at the end we will return the count of the map. This was some sub part of the problem, and this was the main thing we needed to do. So yeah, this was the question mostly. And since I had used an hint in solving that, he asked me the implementation of hash map. So I was like, I did the implementation, but could not remember at the time of the interview clearly. So I just told him the outline. He was asking for the exact code how we would implement hash map, but I wasn't able to explain the method even clearly. But yeah, he did understand about my thing. And yeah, so I just went to the next round also. And definitely you do have, he asked me something like, you do you have any questions for us? So that's a common question you should prepare, like. So if there you should ask about the company, you should ask about the guy, that how many years have you been working in the company, and what is your feedback regarding this? So he told me various things, like he had uh, been switching companies, and then but for the past 12 years he is with Samsung, and because according to him he has some good feedback. So yeah, that also shows your interest towards joining the company. So yeah, that was for the round two. And for the round three was an HR round. Mostly behavioral questions were asked. What are your hobbies and extracurriculars? I told them. Why do you want to join Samsung? So you can tell it something like, if I could join some reputed company at the beginning of my career, it would be a great head start. So things like that really impresses the interviewers. You can also prepare these questions, solid answers and good answers using ChatGPT. These are really common questions which are asked in the HR rounds, and giving a good answer would really impress the HR. I would say this. How did you manage to handle both core and non-core stuffs at college? So, yeah, I told that I used to attend classes regularly. That was all for the core, and whenever I was at home, I was usually coding or doing stuffs which actually made me feel interested in studying. So yeah, that was all I told about this question. What are your main interest areas? I told him about AI, machine learning, data science, and then he told that tell something about your friends like about you and that makes you unique. I told that apart from just studies, I do have a lot of extracurriculars and stuff like that. I just told. So yeah, he was okay with the answer. So he also asked some tricky questions like, if we give you the job offer, like what would you do in your free time in the last semester? So this was the second last semester which was going on 1st of December, just as the end of the second last semester. So if I will give you this job order, what would you do in your free time? So I told him that I do have some hobbies like I want to learn piano, playing the piano and stuff like that. I told him, and yeah, I would definitely not stop studying at all because the CGPA does matter. I need to pursue it till the end. So stuffs like that, I told him. So yeah, that was all. He looked quite impressed with the thing. The only thing which I did not do good was in round two. In this technical round, I wasn't able to implement hash map, and I wasn't able to directly solve the DSA question without using any hint. So yeah, but that was okay, I guess. So yeah, I will try to bring out some more podcasts on more companies' interview questions, and I think that would help you in your campus placement preparation also. So yeah, that was all from this video. Thank you so much.